And we are live. Ladies and gentlemen, what's up, fight fans? This is Kurt DeVille with Counterpunch Boxing News. I'll let the chat load to let everybody come on to discuss what will happen to Terence Bud Crawford in, I feel, the near future. You know, it's crazy. It seems like the better you do, the more people are not really for you, and the more people reveal themselves um, to be not for you, but against you. You know, we got four in the chat. Thank you guys for coming on. Hit the like button when you come in on the chat. And we're here to talk about the future of Terence Bud Crawford. Now, Terence Bud Crawford, of course, he is the weight division champion. He was undisputed at 140. He came from 135. First one to defeat the once superstar in the sport, Yoriokas Gamboa, which nobody seemed to beat except himself. He gambled on himself and he hit pay dirt. The AK and Barack interview really opened a lot of eyes. And that's also what I wanted to talk to you guys about, because Terence Crawford, for once, came out of his shell and started speaking what he felt about his promotional company. Jordan Benson, best boxing channel, hands down. Appreciate you, Jordan. Appreciate you, brother. Counterpunch to you, 100. Iceman, salute Counterpunch Boxing News in chat. Appreciate you, Iceman. Tyrese Bowie, Bud, take the 40% versus EJ because you can beat him, then pack and retire. Okay, that's interesting. Patrick B, do you think Hearn will find the money to sign Crawford? You know, I think he should, just for shits and giggles, to get the one up on Eddie Hearn. Because understand something right now. Eddie Hearn taking Terence Bud Crawford under his wing, having him fight in the UK. You know, if you really think about it, he could fight someone like Josh Taylor. That would be a good fight on down the line. But more so, Eddie Hearn could offer him another fan base. Think about it. Terence Bud Crawford has made Amir Khan quit and has knocked out and stopped Kell Brook. I don't think there's anybody that has actually beat both of those guys. If you really look at it, people want to shit on Terence Bud Crawford's resume, but understand something. Amir Khan is or was a top tier guy, and he's damn sure a money guy in certain places. He's marketable. Kell Brook also was a hot commodity that came over here to this side of the pond and took the IBF belt from Sean Porter. Now, of course, we know Errol Spence already done that, but Errol Spence hasn't done that to Khan and Brook. Okay, so that's one hell of a thing. You took out two rivals of each other. Do you think Hearn? Okay, so I think Hearn will, Patrick B. I think he can. And, you know, he probably will just for the shits and giggles. Just for the shits and giggles, he would do it. Gary Dalton, one of the best unbiased boxing ex. Appreciate you, brother. Appreciate you. I mean, that's what we aim to do. You know, think openly, think of different possible outcomes and situations, and go with it. Think about how a person's feeling. You know what I mean? How a person could be thinking if they are in that situation. Think of it if you are in a fighter situation. That's how you get a channel that goes right down the middle. You know, but as far as Terence Crawford goes, the way he's being disrespected, and Eddie Hearn, and I was going to I'm really kind of behind on my Eddie Hearn videos, and I have to do a couple more. I'll get them out to you guys hopefully tomorrow or Saturday on, Eddie Hearn, because he's done a lot and he said a lot about Bob Arum and how disrespectful Bob Arum's been to Eddie Hearn. Imagine Eddie Hearn doing that shit to Dillian White. Or better yet, Joshua. Imagine Eddie Hearn saying, well, I don't think Joshua, I'm losing money on Joshua. And he's saying that shit to the general public of people. Now think about that. Think of Eddie saying something that blatantly fucking disrespectful, right? Towards his fighter. Simon, respect the channel with love from England. Counterpunch to you, brother. Appreciate you. Appreciate you. Iceman, Bud said Aram is a good dude and that they will figure something out. He did say that. ¿Cómo estás? Todo bien. Todo bien. Solo tranquilo. Comiste camarones. Gary Dalton. It seems old. Bob is so old he forgot what the word promoter means. Gary, I guess so. Shit. Because you look at Bob and Bob's talking as though he's talking as though he don't have to do shit but cut a check. And I don't see where Bob gets off though. I really honestly don't. I'm not gonna go bankrupt. You think a fucking lawyer, a Jewish lawyer by Bob Arum, do you think that he's gonna go bankrupt? As much as he knows, as business minded as he is, as cheap as he is, do you think a man like that is gonna go bankrupt? I mean, come on, man. That's just, and it is almost to me, it's insulting because you go out of your way to be insulting to Bud Crawford. You know what I mean? I could understand if Bud Crawford was like Adrian Broner, just was a loudmouth or talk shit or, said disrespectful things to people or about people that warranted, like that type of talk. But the way he did Terence Bud Crawford, that shit was wrong. If Hearn has AJ and Crawford, he can pull a Dana White and take over. You know he can. And see, what'll have to happen is that fight should be, I think, Terence Bud Crawford. Because see, Crawford ain't like a Mayweather. Crawford's like he's like half pretty boy Mayweather and then half fucking, he's half and half. He's made money / pretty boy because he's beating and knocking guys out, stopping guys. And you know something? I really wish Bud, because Floyd, look where Floyd was before '07. Look at Floyd Mayweather before '07, before Gotti. He was just a regular undefeated fighter that a lot of people really didn't pay attention to. Yes, he was undefeated. Yes, he was a good prodigy. Yes, he was beating guys and doing things he didn't supposed to do. However, at the end of the day, people had other bigger fish to fry. They had Roy Jones. You had Mike Tyson by that time was kind of out of the picture, but you had De La Hoya was still there. He was the man. You still had Trinidad fighting. You had so many different fighters at that time. Well, Floyd had to do something that stuck out. And Bob knew it. You know what I mean? You had guys that were up and coming that were like you had Paul the Punisher Williams, guys like that, and Floyd was that guy that needed his shot, and Floyd wasn't getting his just due. His ceiling was only going to be so high with Bob Arum. Who you actually eating right now? Cool. He's old. That's the old Don King used to do. Well, Don King, though, look, let me tell you something. Don King and Bob Arum, they came up around the same. Both of those motherfuckers are dirt old. Their longevity is a blessing. You know what I'm saying? They are some old cats. Mr. D, hi Kurt, good evening. Look, I just don't think Crawford is marketable. Look at his damn Twitter. He's at 199K followers. For the best or one of the best fighters in the world, that's weak. I think, this is what I think. It's not that he's not marketable. I just think people have to know how to market Bud Crawford. And no, he's not that type of dude. I mean, he's on Instagram and stuff like that, but I mean, he really doesn't call out people. He's just the original badass without the bells and the whistles. And the bells and the whistles are the trash talk. If you gave the type of personality that Adrian Broner has, but with Bud Crawford's skill and skill set and mindset, you would have a bad mother sucker. But unfortunately, you don't. That's right too. I mean, here's the thing. What Eddie could do, he could offer those big fights. But see, the problem is with Eddie and Al Heyman, they don't have the best working relationship at all. I think a lot of those reasons why you don't see. That's why you couldn't see fights like Joshua Ortiz. Now imagine Joshua and King Kong getting it on. See, Al Heyman blocks fights, so he would block the idea. And then think of this. Oscar De La Hoya himself offered $20 million for Errol Spence to fight Canelo back in the day, which was stupid. It was fucking a dumb. See, that's you just throwing somebody money that, first of all, Errol Spence ain't even worth $20 million. And then when you offer him $20 million, he knows, well, you're offering me this much. Motherfucker, I want more than that because that's the first offer. Guys, hit that like button when you come in. Let's hit the like button. He's like a fury, but not talking. He's very, very skilled. But the thing with Bud, he don't need the talking. He doesn't, and everybody thinks that he does. They should call him the silent assassin. He's silent, but he's deadly. Talk shit, he's going to make you pay in the ring. That is the niche. He needs a PR. He does. He needs someone that's going to promote him because Bob Arum don't want to fucking do it. He's too old. That's all he's saying. He's too old and he's too fucking cheap. And he doesn't want to do his job. Obviously. Top Rank can do a better job at promoting him, but some fighters just don't have it. Pacquiao wasn't even heavily promoted and he became phenomenal. Even Floyd attracted people in his own way. Manny had a personality that was likable. He was always smiling. He was always talking his positivity. And then before he found Jesus Christ, he was partying with motherfuckers too. He was partying with like Beyonce and fucking Paris Hilton. You know what I mean? He was partying with the best of them. Beyonce used to go to see Pacquiao fights because she was like, she was just amazed with what she saw. Whereas Bud Crawford is a hybrid fighter. He does things that you wonder, how the fuck did he do that? With long arms, he knows how to time punches, and he gets you out of there. Now, would it be as flashy or classy or exciting as Pacquiao? It can when he gets to fucking whooping you, but he does it all at one time. You'll be watching a Bud Crawford fight, and you're like, oh, shit. You know what I mean? With Pacquiao, he's constantly beating you to fuck up. So Manny had this, I'm Manny, I like to fight. He was just this cool ass, happy fighter that you really just couldn't even get pissed at him. You see him, oh, how you doing? I'm Manny Pacquiao. How you doing? I love basketball. I love to karaoke. And I love to fight. I love to party too. Me and Bull Boy, we will fight. We will party with you, ladies, and maybe we do something else too. People love fucking Manny. And then it's like Floyd took a hiatus, come back to the sport. Manny's the man, and that's where all that started. Well, he had me staying up until 4 or 5, whatever it was. I weren't staying up for Kale, and talking reckless don't make you any more appealing. Like Eddie said, market his other qualities. Yes, Paul, but here's the thing. You're coming from the UK, I know. You're staying up till 4 or 5. Look, because you guys over there would appreciate someone like Terence Crawford. He's a badass. He gets the job done, and he does it in an humbling way. He's no fucking pushover. He's just quiet. And see, the thing about Terence Crawford, he's one of those guys, if someone was like, You can have 10 people in the room, 9 shit talkers, 9 motherfuckers that don't fight. He will be the one that ain't saying shit, but will be able to beat everyone's ass in the room. He's that type of guy. He's a silent assassin. And I think in the UK, they can appreciate that over there. Now, can they? The whole thing is, who do they have over there to market Terence Crawford, to bring him out in the UK? You know, this fucking mierda of coronavirus, this shit is bad. You know, but you imagine Terence Crawford at the O2 Arena selling out fucking arenas. You know what I mean? And he's fucking people up. You know what I mean? They're going to like him over there. The iron's hot for Crawford. He's just beat Kell Brook, and we didn't. We did notice that in the UK. Patrick B. See, everybody noticed except Bob Arum. But you know something, though? You guys fucking know something. Is it me? Or did Bob Arum expect for fucking Crawford to lose or something? Come on. Exactly, Gary. Exactly. 2 million views. 2 million views. He's doing the fucking numbers. What the fuck? Why am I a Wilder hater? What the fuck are you talking about? Who the fuck hating on Wilder Sports 7th 23? We're not even talking about Wilder now, but have I even mentioned Wilder this whole live stream? How am I hating on Wilder? Uh-oh, we got another Wilder fanboy in the house, guys. Why you hate on Wilder, bruh? The fuck out of here. Okay, well, that's great. Really sounds like a great number, but his pay-per-view numbers are very low. Well, I mean, it was free over here, so I don't know about that market. And then honestly, you know, it took a while, and that's really up to Bob. And look, as he said today, he said that Bob doesn't market him like other prima donnas. We know who he was talking about. He was talking about Lomachenko. Why does Fury's knuckles show through his gloves? We got one glove, Sports 7th 23. The image looked fucked up. That image that's going around, and let's talk about that image. We're going to keep it real on this channel, right? The image that we saw was 4 months. I repeat, 4 months. That shit was in like June. When that shit hit the LDBC channels. And when it hit the LDBC channels, that became the new Glovegate. That was Glovegate 2.0. Okay. My question is, the image that you're talking about, people say, well, I can prove this is the original image. You can't prove the original image unless you get the original image from the fucking photographer. The photographer snatched it down. Why he snatched it down? I don't know. Was it some bullshit behind snatching it down? Of course it was. But the problem is, Sports 7 23, we don't know who told this man or convinced this man or paid this man off to snatch that gallery down. We really don't know that. And, you know, you have to look at it. Yeah, it could have been Fury's team. If it was Fury's team, okay, there is some truth to it. If it's Fury's team. But who's to say it wasn't Wilder's team? It wasn't somebody that was connected to Wilder that just snatched it down in order to talk more shit on how relevant and how fucked up that glove looked, because we still don't have nothing to compare it to. Do we have John Grzinski? Do we have his comparison of that glove, that image to the image that was going around the internet? And then see, here's the problem I have with the image. Why did it take so long to come to the forefront? That's the only question I have. Why did it take so long? You see what I'm saying? And look, and if it was that way, then see, this is what I believe. If that image was looking the same fucking way, and I know people have came to me saying, man, I seen the image. It was the same image. Okay, I hear what you're saying, but I know one thing, my eyes ain't gonna lie to me. You see what I mean? My eyes are not gonna lie to me. So until John Krasinski, until I can get a hold of this dude and say, dude, give me that image. And if he can't find that fucking image that's going around on the internet, I know that image is fucking photoshopped. That's it. If I find out it's Photoshop, okay, you got to point to it. The shit had it. I don't dispute anything. I question. It ain't calling nobody a liar. It's just finding out what the real truth is. But I know there's motherfuckers lying because they know it's money to be made behind the shit. If you make 100 videos a day talking about Glovegate and you know people want to watch it because it's hot news and topics, they're making that money. Bud is better than Spence. What's your point? Who are you referring to now? Sports 723. I know Bud is better than you. You have to be talking to somebody else on the chat or something. I will say one thing, Kurt. Only a few fighters ever really make it to pay-per-view fighters. No, that's true. That's true. Yeah, that is true. Most pay-per-view numbers are down. It's fucking Corona season. But you know something? Shouldn't pay-per-view be up because people are at home? Or maybe people can't afford it. Why does Fury's not clearly show them through his gloves, his knuckles? Well, hey, man, let me ask you this. Let me ask you this question, though, Sports. See, is it his gloves? Is it his knuckles showing? Or is it something that's sharp that you see? Like, to be real about the shit, man, the glove gate, it's too. Is it some truth to the shit? Here's the thing. If it was, how can we really prove it? They didn't find it in the gloves. They supposed to did an investigation. That shit'll never come to light. Now, people can make and do a small cult following or underground following of how they feel that Tyson Fury cheated. The only thing that Wilder can do is present his evidence and may the best man win, because we don't know all the evidence. But as far as the fucking image, that image that was shown was from the second fight. The floppy ass glove from the other fight was from 2018. And even then, they supposed to call that. Why haven't you counterpunched the Spence ducking Crawford video? JD Mack, I haven't saw it. I've been out and about all day, really. I'm just really catching up, posting videos that I've already done. But yeah, man, JD Mack, send me the shit on Instagram. DeVille Kurt, inbox me. I'll take a look at it. But he's never made big pay-per-view numbers. I just don't believe TC is the type to attract a big following. Mr. D, let me counterpunch you. If you seen that interview, you would understand why his shits are the way they are compared to someone like Lomachenko. Do you know why? It's because they weren't promoting Terence Crawford's pay-per-view. They didn't promote it like they promoted Lomachenko's. They didn't put money into it. That was the reason. The first time ESPN had a pay-per-view, they only promoted it 1 week, and that's when he was fighting Postal. Postal was supposed to be this guy that no one from the Ukraine and no one ever heard of. But guess what? He was undefeated, and he was fighting fucking Terence Crawford, and Terence Crawford showed him who Terence Crawford was. And Postal was a bad mother sucker. He's the guy that made Lucas Matisse, La Machina, quit. He made him quit. And that was a bad mother sucker. People looked at La Machina like, whoa, what the hell? Right? And then Postal was the man. He had Eddie Roach in his corner. He was top fucking notch. He just couldn't beat Crawford because Crawford's that good. He's a special fighter. Fury clearly took padding out of his gloves and was on human hormone. Oh, God. Look, if he was on human growth hormone, bro, he would have came up. Or he's more successful than fucking Jarrell Miller at taking steroids and cycling off him. You know what I mean? But hey, that is some new shit, the human growth hormone. But it's like this, man, with Fury. Does Fury have haters? I think of course he does. You go out of your way to talk about what you think Fury did. How would anybody with that many fucking excuses look for more? That's the question you ask yourself. You look for more excuses? Like, oh shit, this ain't working. Let's try this. Oh, that ain't working. Let's try this other thing. Oh, the other thing ain't working. Hey, let's try this too. Yeah, it's just, it's really a bunch of bullshit, really. No. I wish I can put my laughing faces, but this damn laptop is limited. But much respect. But Kurt Lomachenko doesn't promote himself either. So why does Bud has a problem with his best fighter? You mean why does Bob? Um, Because I mean, Bob would rather promote Lomachenko than Bud. That's what he's saying. Why? I don't know why. Those were ESPN numbers. Let's be real. Mar the Machine. What's up, Counterpunch Boxing? What's up, brother? Counterpunch to you. Bud Crawford is the best fighter in the world, pound for pound. Love Bud. He has a big fan base in the UK. Wilder fan boys cry every night to sleep. And he belongs to the LDBCDEFGH, the alphabet channels. Yeah. Crawford's more marketable than Loma. Loma doesn't even move the needle over here in the UK, but Bud moves it over here. He's nasty, that killer instinct, and being quiet is a good thing in my opinion. See, Paul, that's what I'm saying. A lot of people will respect it over there. A lot of people will. The quiet guy is normally the dangerous guy, and Bud proves that. That's right. I know what you meant. I know what you meant, Paul. It's all good. Thanks, Gary. Respect, bro. I would say that Crawford is top tier, and as boxing family, I want to see him versus Spence. One of the most demanded fights in sports. Yeah, that would be good. Because Wilder gave birth to a lie. It took him 9 months to open his damn mouth. Crypto asset reviews. We don't need no images, Kurt. We have 13 rounds of crystal clear HD video, bruh. 13 rounds. 13 rounds? I don't know where you get 13 from, but okay. You keep it real, Kurt. Respect from the UK. Damn you, Kurt. Your logic and your objectivity. Yeah, I know, right? Black Chain, 1981. I know. I mean, look, I'm open to a lot of shit because I know boxing is a dirty business, but I mean, you gotta blame yourself at it. You see, here's the thing: if Wilder cheated Fury, Wilder has to blame himself. He has to blame him fucking self. That's why he shouldn't have said anything about it. He has to blame himself at the end of the day. Should get a Wilder interview. Sports News TV. I would interview Wilder. I mean, I like Wilder. It's just I don't like what he's doing right now. And for somebody that doesn't, in my position, I don't think he would want to talk to me. Because with Deontay Wilder, I can't hold my tongue with shit. And I think already certain people have done it better than I can do it because I would probably lose my cool. And it wouldn't be the type of interview that it would kind of be, you know what? It would turn into one of those Brian Kenny versus Floyd Mayweather interviews. I like Crawford exactly because he is quiet, but his gloves are loud. Counterpunch to you, brother. Appreciate you. Oh, no shit. Fa blood test. What's up with Fa? He pop dirty? Dean Bradford, counterpunch to you, brother. Damn. Mikey C, ain't no fight really worth pay-per-view. It's fucked up. Just want to see Bud and Spence along with everyone else. Let's get it. That would be good. BJ Ben, yo, what's good? Everything good, BJ Ben 03. From listening to Fury and Wilder, you never guess who suffers mental illness. Yeah, well, I mean, that's the narrative now. And see, the sad thing about Wilder, people are saying he's mentally unstable and shit like that. That's the problem. And then see, he's telling people what he believes, and then it's backfiring on him because when now motherfuckers think he's crazy. I don't think a person that's delusional is crazy to a certain degree. I think that a person is convinced. See, you can be convinced of something that ain't true, and you could really believe that. I believe he believes that, but I believe it took convincing. It took this long for him. Because if you notice what Wilder said, he said, be quick to hear, but slow to speak. So he was just sitting back, listening, looking, searching. But understand, Wilder was on that journey anyway. Wilder was on the journey to see what the fuck happened to him February 22nd. So he was trying to find out, like, something's wrong, and I know something was wrong. What was it though? That's why you had so many different things. And like a lot, I've heard, I was listening to, and I don't really listen to this channel much, but I was listening to Fanon, and Fanon was saying, listen, just because uh, all the things are not right, don't mean some of the things are. Okay, I get that. But here's the thing. You have to be real if you're a channel. You have to understand all the fucking things that they said about Tyson Fury can't be fucking true. It's just too many things. You know what I mean? You have to separate the rumors from the facts. And until we can do that, people are all going to look at it like a bunch of bullshit because it's so many things. You know what I mean? It's like, okay, if he was cheating with the gloves, couldn't the gloves make him feel all fucked up in the legs? You see what I'm saying? Like, did it have to be Mark Breland spiking his water too? Like, you needed a fucking, you needed a double demon. You needed a double demon, somebody to double cheat you in order for him to feel like that. If he got hit with something that didn't feel right, first of all, his ass should have caught it. So, and again, he should have been telling his corner, like, look, something ain't right. After he got dropped in, I think, the third round, and he went down and he was just like, he was kind of out of it or whatever, because he kind of looked like Williams from Enter the Dragon when he got killed by Mr. Han. You know what I'm saying? I'm a kung fu guy. So he looked like that, but then it was like, okay, because he had the fucking iron fist, right? But then again, it's like, okay, if Wilder got hit with something like that, he should have fucking known that. That's the communication between your trainer and that fighter. Like, look, he like, man, something ain't right. Dude hit me with something, and I'm not really sure about it. Tell the referee. The referee should have then went to that guy and be like, hey, said you got something, and you go, they should have fucking timed and looked at and examined the motherfucking gloves to see exactly what the fuck was in the gloves. Then we could have solved that. If he had nothing in the gloves, okay. But if it was padding out of the glove or it was some bullshit in the gloves or whatever, we would have known that then. And I think that's the responsibility of the team. See, Wilder, and like I told you guys last night, think of how Wilder feels. Y'all might, well, he's delusional, he's this. Well, he got his ass whooped, but he doesn't know why. And a lot of those things, it's a hell of a thing when you don't have people, obviously, that looks out for you, or you're looking over the fact that somebody you hired in charge to look over this particular thing didn't do the job, and you didn't fire him. That's my problem with Wilder. That's always going to be my problem with Wilder. You fired Mark Breland instead of JD's. How about sweep the fucking kitchen? Because, okay, JD's didn't do his job. That's the Glovegate shit. Mark Breland didn't do his job. He did something you told him not to do. On top of you felt losing. So, okay, well, hey, I'm going to fire you on definitely stopping the fight and probably spiking my water. You know what I'm saying? But then JD's dude, you let this dude cheat me. You guys understand that, dude? I mean, listen to what I'm saying. Deontay Wilder let JD's allow, allegedly, Tyson Fury to cheat him in his mind. This is the mindset of Wilder. Lady Chan enters the Glove Gate 2.0. Get at me, inbox me. We need to do an interview. You know, better now than ever. I don't know if I can do it tomorrow, but we can do it after this if you're up for it. Guy sounded so fake at this post-fight conference. JD should have been fired. He should have. And then you know what it was. JD's was doing that shit like save your own ass. That's what he was like. Well, we didn't want Mark to do it. We're going to address that. You know. But then again, has JD said anything about Glovegate? Has Shelly Finkel said anything about Glovegate? Okay, great. Let's do it in about 15, 20 minutes. Let's go. But it's a damn shame. It really is, because at the end of the day, it's just Wilder all by himself. Wilder and some YouTube channels. Sports News TV. Appreciate you, brother. Thank you for your support. Keep watching, because I'm coming with content every day. If I don't, something's seriously wrong. I'm dead serious. I lost my phone. Someone stole my phone. I'm in the hospital. I'm shot. I shot somebody. I'm in jail. You know, I'm dead. Something. What is going on with Fury? Now he's not fighting till February or March. Is AJ supposed to wait for him, or is AJ just going to go ahead and fight Usyk's mandatory and get it out of the way? Slotello presents. He needs to do what he sets out to do. Fuck Fury. Because see, this is Fury. Fury is a great prodigy. He's good for the sport because he's marketable. But at the same time, he is unsteady as shit. He's totally unstable. He does not, stability does not define Tyson Fury. I'm sorry. It doesn't. If Deontay, no, let me counterpunch it, Slotello. Let me break it down to you like this, right? If Deontay Wilder ain't waiting for Tyson Fury, why the fuck should AJ? Counterpunch. If Wilder's saying we ain't gonna wait for the coward, why should AJ? Yeah, I know what they agreed on. But AJ's the unified champion. AJ's the real unified champion. You know why I say that? Because AJ defended the fucking unified belts. Counterpunch. Not Tyson Fury. And Tyson Fury has yet to defend his WBC. Of course, he wanted to fight in December or whatever, but you know, they can't do it due to other shit. Oh, we're not going to be able to do it without a crowd. Okay, well. But still, the fact remains that he has not defended a title. The cornerman's job is to protect his fighter. Breland did the right thing, stopped him getting seriously hurt. Big up to Mark Breland. Respect to the good man and a great champion. Glenn, absolutely. And see, what people need to understand and what we need to all do is hit the like button. Hit that like button if you haven't already. When you come in, everyone on the chat, if you haven't, hit that like button. Let's get those likes up. But when someone says, I want to go out on my shield, when someone says you don't stop the fight, when someone tells you that don't stop the fight because I have a chance, I have a puncher's chance, or whatever it was preached and practiced or said or whatever. I know Mark Breland understood that, but also understand something. It's a certain thing called common fucking sense. If you see your fighter not performing, not reacting, not responding, not, answering back shots that he's taking, not doing what he's supposed to do that you worked on in the gym for countless days and weeks. If you see a fighter that's falling all around the ring, falling down 2 or 3. He fell about 3 or 4 times, mind you. Okay? Because he didn't have the legs up under him. And you think Mark Breland didn't see that shit? Ray Charles should have saw it. Ray Charles saw that shit. He saw he couldn't focus and perform the way he's supposed to. So what the fuck does Mark Breland really supposed to do? And I think the spike water was just a cop out because Wilder does not really know what was wrong with him. And it's sad. And this is the Mark Breland thing is the saddest. You know what I mean? Because both of that shit can be eradicated. For one, JD's supposed to be watching the shit with the gloves of Tyson Fury. For two, Mark Breland, how can you accuse this man of fucking spiking your water when you don't have anything in your system? Muscle relaxers. You think that shit wouldn't show up in a piss test? Everything else does. Extra electrolytes and, creatine and shit like that. You think muscle relaxers won't? So look, no, I don't buy it. I can't buy it because I have common sense. And you think Mark Breland was going to just sit there because Deontay Wilder said 3 or 4 years ago, hey, don't stop the fight. It would make sense if he didn't stop the fight, if Deontay Wilder was giving this man a go, was giving him a run for his money. He was taking hard shots, but he was also battling this motherfucker back. But you understand something about Deontay. Deontay is not a warrior like that. He's a tough guy because he knows he relies on the punch. As long as he can land that one punch, he can get you out of there. But how many times has he just went toe to toe with somebody? He doesn't have that type of fighting drive. If you're beating the shit out of Wilder ain't gonna come back and beat you off points. He's a knockout artist. He's not a guy that goes blow for blow and toe for toe. He's a fucking guy that hits you one time and knocks you the fuck out. So if you're beating this man up and he ain't knocking you out, what is Mark Breland supposed to do? And that's the danger of someone like Wilder, because he doesn't answer punches back like that. You know what I mean? And the thing is, if he catches you good enough, he's going to knock you out. But if he doesn't knock you out, he's just going to get outworked or beat up. And that's what happened. See, all the above happened February 22nd for Wilder. He went down, he got hurt, he got dropped, he got outworked, he got beat up. You know what I'm saying? Every possible thing that went wrong for Deontay Wilder inside the ring happened. He didn't get the shots off. Don't know what was wrong with his legs. I don't know what happened to his legs, but here, I'm going to be fair and real about the shit. Just say you don't know, Wilder. Don't say, I think he cheated me. Oh, but he really knows that Tyson Fury did cheat him. But you think Mark Breland did that to you. So you fired Mark Breland over a fucking maybe. That's bad. You fired Mark Breland over a maybe or a belief. I believe he spiked my water. You can't prove that shit. It ain't nothing else. Nothing is going to fucking help you prove it. You know why? For the last fucking time on this live stream, there was nothing in the drug test of Wilder. There was no residual traces of something or any substance that could have been muscle fucking relaxers that could have caused his legs to move like they moved. But anyway, I'm done with that. Now, if I might not be able to fight Wilder, should fight Parker. That would be a good fight. Wilder and Parker. And they got mad respect for each other, Wilder and Parker. He may not be able to fight for or willing. Also, didn't they come out with dates already, or did I miss something? Aaron's story, which dates? Parker beats Wilder. Parker would be a tricky fight for Wilder because Parker's not hell of short. I think Parker's like, about 6'3"? He's shorter than Wilder, but then he's quick. He's one of the fastest heavyweights we have. He's the first guy to beat Andy Ruiz, mind you. Him and AJ are the only people that beat Andy Ruiz to this day. It's crazy. The people talk shit about the fat guy. The fat guy gave Parker a good fight, but Parker knew to stay on his feet, use his legs, get away from cement feet. Doesn't matter how fast he punches, he can't move those feet. He can't deal with lateral movement. And if you can't deal with lateral movement with cement feet, how the fuck are you going to cut off the ring? Counterpunch. Bob Arum is full of it for saying that if AJ beats Pulev, Fury will go straight into an AJ fight. He's lying to the fans and all, Fury will need a tune-up. Well, Bob is just hoping Pulev beats AJ so that, because basically Bob is not saying that. Bob is saying that he hopes Pulev will beat AJ so he can have all the fights in-house. That's it. Then they don't have to worry about an AJ fight. Big AJ fan here. And it's incredible how some people question his resume. And in like 25 fights, he's already fought more credible opponents than both Wilder and Fury combined. Yes, he did. And half the fucking time. You know that. Gordon Hutton, what's up, brother? Member in the house. Smash the like button so hard Wilder felt it. Yeah, smash that like button that hard. Gordon, check out the membership material, brother. You got new content on there, so check that out. Sports News TV, Mr. Kurt, have you ever been to New Jersey? Where are you from? I'm from Louisiana, but I've been to New Jersey several times. I lived in New Jersey a few months working on Luke Cage. So, yeah, Hasbro Heights, Princeton, Newark. Yeah, stayed in all those places. But I used to always commute to New York. So, yeah, been to New Jersey a lot of times. I have very good friends down in Trenton. Aaron's story, Wilder looked like he was walking through last round of thing. Well, Wilder didn't look. Wilder was just beat up by that time. Other than Vlad and Povetkin, really. Well, Parker was undefeated when he fought Parker. And it was a chess match. So he fought Parker. He beat an undefeated Dillian White. He beat Povetkin with only one loss. Vladimir Klitschko was a fucking war, which was one of the fights of the year. Who else? And all these other guys that everyone else fought or didn't fight. And that's such as like Dominic Brazil and things, guys like that. And Dominic Brazil was undefeated. So you look at, okay. You had Joseph Parker, undefeated. Dillian White, undefeated. Joseph Parker, Dillian White, Dominic Brazil, undefeated. Charles Martin, IBF champion, undefeated. You see what I'm saying? Like, all these guys were undefeated when they got in the ring with Anthony Joshua. And all these guys were more experienced professionally than Anthony Joshua. Okay? Now, we're not even talking about Klitschko, Povetkin, which are both ex-champions and more, I repeat, more experienced than Anthony Joshua was at the time he fought them. Even to this day, they're older. They've been in there. Povetkin's fucking 41. Klitschko's 44. Come on, these guys, come on now. I mean, look, no one else has done that. Especially the other two. Wilder ain't done that shit. Fury, sure the fucking, he beat Vlad, beat Wilder. 5 years. In 5 years, he fought two credible opponents. Come on now. Let's just be real, man. Let's be real. And I know you could say Tyson Fury beat an undefeated Derek Chisora. He did that. He did beat an undefeated Derek Chisora. But here's the problem. How many other people have beat Derek Chisora since then? See, Joshua was beating guys, and they ain't lost since a lot of times until either recently or lately. Okay, but it's not too many people like Joseph Parker. How many losses does he have? 2? Dillian White, 2. Povetkin, 2. You know what I'm saying? Let's look at that. Let's look at the resume. Dominic Brazil, 2. Okay, they have decent resumes, very good resumes. But he was the one that popped the cherry, people. I'm telling you. Yo, Kurt, how did AJ lost his first fight against Ruiz? He got caught. Got caught right on the temple, never recovered. And thought he was a fucking bodybuilder. That's how. So as soon as he got hurt, his adrenaline was up there. He was gasping for breath. He was tired as shit. You know what I mean? He couldn't hold all that muscle mass. And all that shit betrayed him that night. But here's the question. Apoja 5E. Did he complain? Did he fucking complain? That's the question you ask yourself. Mark Breland was the only one in Wilder's corner that thought Wilder should have been pulled out in the 6th. He was beating the man. Well, look. Mark did his job. He did his job. He protected his fighter. Nothing more, nothing less. JD's did not. JD's, if it was up to him, he'd still be in there. You can do it, AJ. Wipe the blood off when he gets in the ring. When he gets in the corner, wipe the blood off. It's fucking leaking. It's free flowing. Shit, I need a beer. You know? Yeah, Andy Ruiz, 2 losses. Exactly. See, these guys, man, Anthony Joshua has the best resume. You know what I mean? Because then it's safe to say, but see, one thing about Fury, though, here's the thing about Fury. If Fury fights Anthony Joshua, Fury has fought the other 2 best heavyweights. But then the funny thing about fighting only 2 people, that does not solidify your legacy. It doesn't. Just like it doesn't for him now. Him beating Klitschko and Wilder doesn't do enough. This shouldn't. It's okay, you beat Wilder. Good for you. Now you beat Joshua. Then next you defend what you have obtained. Don't try to rest on yesterday's loins or yesterday's success. And that's what Tyson Fury does a lot of times. He talks about the Klitschko fight as though it happened last fucking year. It did not. It happened in 2015. Okay? It happened in 2015. And a lot of shit happened since then. He didn't defend the titles or whatever. Now he has a WBC belt. Now he's a 2-time belt holder. Yes, he's had every belt, literally, but he hasn't had them all at the same time. And on top of that, he didn't fucking defend them. He hasn't defended any of them. So that's what we have with Tyson Fury. So that's his criticism at this point. That's, if you were going to critique Tyson Fury, that's how you look at him, as a comeback kid, so to speak. He's a Keanu Reeves in retrospect, right? Yeah, Wilder fought them too. But it's like almost every good opponent that Wilder fought, AJ had already fought, with the exception of Fury and Ortiz, right? But he never beat Fury, but he beat Ortiz twice. But Ortiz hasn't fought anyone else. He hasn't fought Brazil. He hasn't fought Dillian White. He hasn't fought Molina. He hasn't fought. You know what I'm saying? There's nobody that could compare Luis Ortiz. He's fighting a bunch of damn tune-ups. That's what he did. Christian Hammer. Who the fuck is Christian Hammer? You know, Travis Kaufman. No disrespect to these fighters, but who are they in comparison to someone that we can talk about? That's dangerous. That gives us a challenge. Well, Thangalarga, I mean, we have to see what Wilder's going to do, if he ever does. Lydia Dones, Kurt hearing Bud talk makes me feel he's fallen out of love with boxing because of the politics of boxing. He might be. Bradford Dion, Yito, hope all is well with you and the family. Keep the videos coming. You damn right, I'm going to keep them coming. Bradford Dion. Fury has no title defense. No, he doesn't. Yes, Fury and Ortiz are by now the only 2 top guys Wilder faced. See, Wilder's in the same boat. As far as top guys, now see, it would satisfy me to give more credit to Wilder if Luis Ortiz did something like beat Brazil. Let fucking Ortiz go. Cuba libre, por favor. Libertad. Please, let the man go, Al Heyman. Let him fight other people to see how good he really is. So then we can praise Wilder for doing what he really did. If we won't let Luis Ortiz go out and fight other fighters, how much credit should we give Deontay Wilder, really? It's all smoke and mirrors. If he never fought anyone else, get him a Dillian White fight. Get him a Luis Ortiz, Andy Ruiz fight. Give him something. Give him a Dominic Brazil fight. So if he beats Brazil, at least we know, okay, he's better than Brazil. You know what I mean? Now he can join the circle of Wilder and Joshua for beating someone like Brazil. You see what I mean? And at that old age, he can prove I'm still fucking tough. I'm no different or less than Povetkin because I beat a younger guy too, right? Just like Povetkin knocked out Dillian White. So let that man do what he needs to do. I want to see Ortiz challenge. I want to see him with better opposition, different opposition. I want to see that. Knock out a Kalinaki. Get that fight. Both of them have lost, right? Get that fight. Give Ortiz something give him fucking Robert Helenius. Give us something about Ortiz to let us know, okay, he beat Brian Jennings, he beat Malik Scott, he beat Dave Allen. Who else has he beat? Tony Thompson, okay. Older Tony Thompson, okay, but come on now. Recently, who has he beat recently? Christian Hammer? And Christian Hammer gave him a run for his fucking money. But it is what it is, guys. Angelo Dundee in his corner to beat Fury. Respect Angelo Dundee, one of the best. Harold Sconiers. Yeah, I remember that. Wilder fought Harry Sconiers. Yeah, he got dropped. A lot of people said he got knocked out and shit like that. But the thing is, we can't find the footage. You can't find that shit anywhere. Somebody bought that shit and destroyed it. Martin was the man until AJ lined him up. Yep. And Martin's doing well right now. He's doing good. For Wilder versus Kalinaki would be good. Yeah, that would be a good one. I give it to Wilder. And then see, here's the thing. People I think Wilder would lose all these fights. Wilder can knock any fucking body out. You know what I'm saying? I mean, he can do that. He's been doing it for fucking ever. So, I mean, if he gets the right punch off and he can land, he's going to go for the gusto. But again, he's a knockout artist. He's not like a toe-to-toe fighter. That's why he doesn't learn how to fight on the inside and, uppercut off the hook and, hook off the jab or none of that shit, catch and shoot. He ain't doing that shit. He wants to see if he can land that right hand to get you out of there so he can cash check and have sex. That's all Wilder wants to do. Knock you the fuck out and go home and holler to this day and want people to look at him. Wilder versus Kalinaki would not be he gets knocked him within 10 seconds. Yeah, I think Wilder would knock out Kalinaki in about first round. It would be because look how slow Kalinaki is and he gets hit too much. That's how Robert Helenius knocked him the fuck out. That won't be good. That will not be good for Kalinaki. Now, if Kalinaki can do some type of assault inside or something, but Wilder's too quick for that. He'll have him in the speed category and he'll take him out. It don't take but one. Boom! He's gone. You'll probably have Adam Kalinaki walking on this ground on his back, he'll be doing this shit on his back like that one fighter was doing. Yes, Otello, that's right. That's why Manny Robles grew huge respect for AJ too, because he thought AJ was going to be cocky. No, he was a cool guy. He's a good guy. So, the victory, honestly, if you want to get to the core of this shit, the victory when Andy Ruiz beat Anthony Joshua, the victory really belonged to Manny Robles because he was there and he lost against AJ, but then he won against AJ. Sure, he lost again, but, he knows both sides, but he respects both sides. And I like the spirit of Manny Robles. He's just one of those guys that knew that his fighter could do a certain thing, got his fighter there, was there to witness history. I think that was enough. I mean, he could always say at the end of the day, he can look back when he's, chilling at home with his grandkids and everything like that. And, he could always say, you know what, I had fighters and I trained some of the best fighters in the world. I trained the first Mexican, American champion, heavyweight champion ever. I did that. I got him where he needed to be. So, Canelo versus Chisora. Wow, that's crazy. Shit, Canelo will have a fucking rematch, a rehydration clause and shit. He can't gain over 5 pounds after the weigh-in. Stupid shit like that. Ruiz beats Ortiz, but Ruiz don't beat Wilder. Nor does Dubois. Ooh, Dubois and Wilder. That'd be good. But see, a lot of people are shortchanging Wilder, man. You know, I mean, you don't have to like him. But at the end of the day, if he hits you with that right hand, he's going to knock you into another fucking dimension. And people are going to respect that. And you know what? I can't wait. I can't wait. Because here's the thing. Wilder has a lot of people that support him, but really don't. Then then you have people like me that expects more from him. And I think I'm going to get what I'm asking for. That's the thing about me and Wilder. I'm an American. I just expected him to do more in his 12-year career than he did. And I blame it on his management, but then you got to blame him too, because he fired Mark Breland. He could have fired the rest of them fucking, what do you call them? Underachieving fucking management team and company that he had and he trusted in so long and shit. He could have got rid of them, but he did not. And for that, he needs to be blamed for that. He could have fought Charles Martin. He could have fought Klitschko. His fucking management didn't want it. They didn't want to give him fights. And let me tell you guys some shit. I talked to the best friend of Deontay Wilder for fucking several hours. And, you know, I'm not going to talk about everything we talked about, but I can tell you this. Wilder found my channel first. Okay. Not his best friend, Wilder. Wilder was watching these videos that I was making. And I think he realized that a lot of things I was saying wasn't really hating. He might not have liked everything I said. He doesn't supposed to. But I think he respected what I was saying. Hopefully, you know, he learned from what I was saying, because what I was saying was shit that could help him in his career. And then what I heard was the things that I heard about Wilder. Wilder wanted these fights. So if Wilder wanted these fights, why would he get in the fucking fights? He was the undefeated WBC heavyweight champion for a very long time. And they fucked with this man, and they underachieved this man, and they didn't do what they supposed to do with this man. Okay? And I don't believe that. But guess what? Wilder ain't the only person that believed in his team, and his team let him down. A lot of people did that shit. Look at Bob Arum with Manny Pacquiao. Look at Bob Arum with Floyd Mayweather. Look at Bob Arum with Oscar De La Hoya. Look at Bob Arum with Andy Ruiz. A lot of people have done that and thought, well, you know, look at Don King. Don King and Mike Tyson. Don King and Evander Holyfield. Don King and Michael Moore. Don King with a lot of fighters that he bullshitted or cheated. Dubois is in it for the British belt now, after he might go to the European one, then an interim one on the WBA or IBF or whatever. Only then he may have a chance for a title shot. Let's say 2 years at least. Yeah, he's waiting a while. His hand speed is better than Usyk significantly yet, but his footwork isn't. Jesus, Vlad has better footwork than AJ. You know, Usyk's supposed to make a fool out of Vladimir Klitschko. I'm just saying. Although Dubois is the biggest prospect along with Jared, Anderson. Paul Usyk. No Ascuano. Paul makes sense. He Isaacs Usyk. Well, he's going to have to. You know, I don't want Usyk to fight Joshua right now. I really don't, honestly. I don't want him to fight him right now. I think Usyk should fight someone like Wilder. I want Usyk and Wilder. I want Usyk and White. I want Usyk with Ruiz. I want Usyk with someone else besides Joshua, because I like them both. That's pretty much why. On top of, Usyk, I want Usyk to, I don't think he should get that shot right now. I think he deserves it. Don't get me wrong, but I think he should, in fact, he should fight someone else first. I do because AJ ices him. Oh yeah, Dubois is still learning, but he moves well. I didn't think he's ready yet, but a few years ago, watch him develop. I'm an AJ fan, so I want AJ to ice Usyk. Usyk is weak to the stomach. Real talk, KD. Who's sick too much for Wilder at this point? Ruben Armstrong. Yep, I second that notion. But back to Terence Bud Crawford. Terence Bud Crawford should be in a free agent. He can then go wherever he wants to. So if he wants to take a fight with his own, he can do that. If he wants to go over to the PBC, if they offer him enough money, he should do that too. He can sign a 2-fight deal with them like Manny Pacquiao did, and get, 10 million here, 10 million there. You know what I mean? He'll be there. But guys, I think he should be a free agent, and I think this is the door opening and the door of opportunity opening for Terence Crawford. It was awesome talking to you guys. To chop it up. I will see you guys tomorrow, and we will chop it up further. Everyone on the chat, you guys have been counterpunched, and you have a good night or a great morning. Peace.